and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you. We're going to people of the tube. Hope well today. Hope you're feeling grand all around the world. That looks mad. Okay, hello, and welcome to another episode of How to Play Like the one and only Mr. John Frusciante. Today, I will be teaching you the intro to the Slane Castle gig, as it's one of the best intros ever. Full stop. It just is awesome. So, let's talk about a few things first before we get into the teaching bit. The guitar tone of the intro jam to Slane Castle is distinctly a Boss DS2. It's got that the DS2. If you don't know, I mean, I'm sure a lot of you do. But if you don't know what the DS2's, it's got like two different voices. The Boss DS2 pedal. It's got a turbo mode and a normal mode, and the turbo mode is the one that John uses all the time. And it's just got this real distinctive nasally sound, and you can really hear it at the beginning of Slane Castle. It's just this real distinctive sound, and also you can hear a lot of pick scratch, that scratch going on, and that comes out loads with the DS2 with its kind of mid-range kind of boost. So that's the pedal John's using. It's just a Boss DS2. I don't think he's using. It doesn't sound to me like he's combining it with anything. It just sounds like a Boss DS2. Kind of with max kind of gain, so to say. Kind of when I turn my DS2 on, it kind of reacts the kind of same way that you get the kind of same kind of tonal kind of qualities and the same kind of pick scratchy kind of sound that John gets there. It's all on the neck pickup of his Strat, and the whole intro comes out of the key of D minor, and he starts it actually in F major, which is D minor's relative major. But enough on that. You don't really need to know that to learn this solo. That's just basically like, you know, kind of irrelevant almost in a way, to be honest with you. But yeah, the whole thing comes out of D minor. If you've seen the Unlocking the Neck Roy Gallagher video, all these shapes that I'm going to be showing today, you know, you'll be able to kind of like link them together with that. Because again, the same key, D minor. John and Rory love D minor. But I can see why. I love D minor as well. It's the saddest of all keys, as we all know. But yeah, so DS2 neck single coil pickup. It's in D minor. Is there anything else I need to mention? Vibrato. I want to quickly talk about this. I will bring it up later on in the video as well. But if you listen to John, how he's playing the intro to Slane Castle, there's not really a great deal, if any, vibrato, especially on bends. When John bends, you know, there's no vibrato. He's not going. He's going. It's just a straight bend. It's not. He's going. He just bends the note perfectly to the pitch he needs it to be. So bear that in mind. Don't use vibrato. Barely at all. John doesn't do it. Just if you listen really closely to kind of like hone it in. After I've kind of like, you know, spoke about it today, you'll hear that John doesn't use vibrato on bends, and like barely at all. It's just very, very precise bending, just like real to the point. You know, really, really clear, right to the point. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into the Slane Castle, intro. Okie dokie, so, first little riff, lick, little solo bit, or whatever you want to call it, of Slane Castle is this. So, what that is, basically that's kind of like coming out of the key of like F major, so to say, but there is kind of like some of D minor scale in there as well. But again, that's not kind of important at this point in time. Let's learn the song. So, you start by being on your B string on the 13th fret, and you hammer on to your 15th fret on your B. So that's the first two notes, and that's the rhythm. And then you go down here to your high E string, to your 12th fret and 13th fret. So 13th, 15th on B, 12th fret high E string to the 13th fret. And then you go back down to the 12th fret, 15th fret B, 13th fret B, back to the 15th fret B, and then go back down to your 13th fret on your B, and then you hammer on. You go to your G string now. You hammer on from the 12th fret to the 14th fret on your G string. So that's kind of like the first phrase, and hopefully this will make sense. It's quite tricky actually. It's a lot trickier than I thought it would be. But yeah, so do it really slow. So again, starting out on the B string. And one more time. So when you go to that G string, there's actually one thing I forgot to mention: is you fret the 12th fret on the G string, you play it first, and then you hammer on. So play one note, and then the next time you play the G string, you hammer on to the 14th fret. So like that. So. So like that. Hopefully, if I'm missing anything out with my talking, when I play it, hopefully you'll be able to see, if I've messed up, hopefully, and you'll be able to kind of like follow my fingers and what they're doing. I'll try and do it as much as I can in like the Django Reinhardt style, so my fingers don't kind of get in the way and kind of muddy the water, so to say. So yeah, that's the first little kind of like opening kind of like little lick of the Slane Castle Jam. So again, one more time, really slowly. And it's quite a quick jump from the 13th fret on your B to the 12th fret on your G. And you want to be your right hand must be quite scratching. You want to dig in quite hard on the string. So that's where you get that pick scratch from. That's that sound that's very much part of the intro to Slane Castle, is that kind of scratchy intros, that scratchy kind of sound. Okay, so that's the first little lick. The next little lick is this. Okay, the next little lick starts exactly the same. And when you go down there, so you start again on your 13th fret on your B string. Go to your 15th fret on your B string. 12th fret high E. 13th fret high E. And then you go to your 15th fret high E. And then this is where it gets tricky, because what you got to do a pre-bend on the B string at the 15th fret. So once you get to this 15th fret, you want to be really fretting it with your ring finger there, so you can use your middle finger to bend up the B string on the 15th fret and then release it. So like this. So and then you go back to the 13th fret on your B string there. So that next little lick is this. And then you go back to your 15th fret. And then you go back to your G string between the 12th and the 14th fret. So that whole lick really slow is this. I'll try and do it in Django right. I might not be able to do this with two fingers because of a pre-bend, but I will try. Okay, so hopefully you can kind of see that. So the first two licks all together now, really slow, is this. Okay, and that pre-bend is really tricky. It's not the easiest thing to do, but it's a real kind of distinctive thing. But I'll say, if you're using your ring finger there on the high E to get that kind of pre-bend on the B string, it does make it a lot easier, because you kind of your middle finger is kind of there already. So when you slide up from when you don't slide up, but when you go from the 13th fret on the high E to the 15th fret, your middle finger, is in kind of like prime position, just to kind of like pre-bend that B string. And that will take some time to get right. Don't worry about being able to nail that straight away, because that will take some time to get. But yeah, so that's the first two licks, and then we go back to go to lick 3, if you will, which is kind of the same as the first one, but it's slightly different. So where are we? Lick 3. So it's kind of the same, but we're missing out certain notes, and there's a different rhythm to it, and that's this. So I'll try and do it really slow, which is So I'll do it one more time. So the exact same notes that we've been doing all together all the time. So 13th, 15th on the B, 12th, 13th on the high E, and we're not using the 12th fret on the G this time. We're only using the 14th on the G. So just those notes there. So that second, the third little lick has that rhythm where it's. Okay, so I'll do it again one more time, real as slow as I can go. Okay, so that's the third lick, and the final lick before we go to the big bend is this one. It kind of is kind of it's like almost foreshadowing the Danny California solo at the end of this one. It's really, really cool. So, so where are we? Fourth lick. So we're going back to that pre-bended lick again. So again, it's basically lick 2 again, just repeated. In all fairness, there's only kind of like 2 licks, and then there's like variants on that in the intro. So you have like lick 1, which is that kind of like, and then lick 2, which is that 2, and then you get basically lick 1 variant, and then you get lick 2 variant. So they kind of like they change, but not massively. There's like slight changes. But the ending of it is really cool. So, lick 4, or lick 2 variant, if you will, but it's kind of like the one before the band kick in, is exactly the same as what we've already learned. So again, one more time, really slow. But then we do this, which again is kind of foreshadowing Danny California solo, which is really cool. So what that is you start on your 15th fret on your B, go to your 13th fret B, and then you go to your 14th fret on the G. So that's it, basically. That's kind of the intro. So the whole thing, really slow, is this. Kind of messed up at the end there, but you know what I mean. Hopefully, I say anything I've missed talking about, hopefully you'll be able to kind of see it and, kind of adjust, because I'm a bit stupid sometimes and I miss things. So, after that, we come all the way down here to this fret, which is 17, 18, 19, 20. We come down to the 20th fret on the B string. And I'm vibrato in it, and John doesn't. So, bad Dave, stop it. Stop it. So yeah, we're bending up the 20th fret a tone. So again, it's really clean. John's bends are really clean, and again, he doesn't really use a lot of vibrato. It's just very, very clean, to the point, right to the note. So 20th fret, bend up a tone, like that. So basically, it's basically the 22nd fret he's bending up to, but we don't have that. And then releases the bend. Actually, scrap that. He actually does this. Okay, so what's that, everybody? So we're bending up again. I lose my voice already. That's not a good sign. Oh my god. Okay, so 20th fret bend up, and then again, and then a third time, and then you release the bend back to the 20th fret note, and then you play that note. 18th fret B, 17th fret B, and then 18th fret B again. Actually, sorry, he does that. It's hard to keep up with these single note things, I tell you. So once you go down to the 18th fret on the B string, go back to your 20th fret B, 18th fret B, 17th fret B, 18th fret B. So 18th fret, 20th, 18, 17, 18. So bend up twice, and well, technically 3 times. First time is twice, and then bend up the third time. Release the bend, play the 20th fret, 18, 20, 18, 17, 18. Okay, so. Okay, and after that, it kind of repeats itself in a way, because after he goes back to the 20th fret again, bends up. So bend up once, release the bend, 20th fret, 20, 18, 17, 18. So the whole thing is. And then we bend up the 18th fret on the B string. Like that. So you bend up the 18th fret on the B string a toad. Twice. And then release it. And then play the 18th fret, just the note. So. And then we go back to bend up the 20th fret. And then we do this lick one more time. And then we do this one, which is a kind of a variant almost in a way. So, that one. And then we go to bend up the 20th fret. And then we need to get our little finger in on the high E string on the 20th fret. So that note there. So you need to bend up the B string on the 20th fret. Little finger in, or well, yeah, it'd be better to use your little finger, to be honest with you, because there's not a lot of space really. So bend up the 20th fret with your on your B string. Little finger in on the B string on the 20th fret, and then we release that bend, and then back to that again. So. 20th fret bend up, 20th fret high E, release 20th fret on the B, 18, 17, 18 on the B string. So that whole thing, really slow, is this. That whole kind of second section, if you will, of the Slane Castle intro is this. And then we do this lick, which is basically bending up the 18th fret on a B string, a toad, and then releasing it. And yeah, you can kind of see what I'm doing with my right hand there as well. And it's got this kind of like, it's got this kind of like whiny kind of sound to it, where it kind of drones, or it's like lazy. It's got a kind of a lazy feel to it. So. Okay, and then what we do is we kind of basically take this same principle of this whiny kind of like laid back, lazy kind of thing, and we take it down to the 15th fret on your B string, and we bend up to the 18th fret note on the B string. So 15th, it's a big bend. It sounds quite. It's quite weird, this is, because I'm 99% sure this is the bend that John does, but I think what John's doing is, I'm pretty sure what John's doing here is he's up picking, and he's getting basically a ghost note from a G string, so it's almost like that, so there's kind of like this extra noise there, and it kind of like distorts it a little bit. It's quite hard to hear, but that's what he's doing. So he's bending up the 15th fret to the 18th fret note. So from there to there. So where are we? So it's quite a strange sounding bend. But again, it's got this kind of lazy feel to it, which is really important to kind of nail down when you're playing this bit. And it actually, I do apologise, it actually walks in from the 13th fret on the B string to the 13th fret, B string, 15th fret, and then bend up. So. So it does it that many times. It's just kind of, like I say, it's lazy. You've got to be lazy with it. And if you watch the DVD and you see what position John's in when he's doing it, he's very relaxed. He's kind of slumped over the guitar, so to say. So he's, he's really putting a lot of kind of pressure into that bend. But but he's relaxed, and it's lazy, and it's kind of lagging. It kind of drags the time about a bit. That bit does. So So next bit, which is just a very, very, very typical John Frusciante lick. So what it is, 13th fret, hammer onto the 15th, and then release. But it's not a pull off or anything, you actually play the note. So you hammer onto the 15th, and then you play the 13th fret. And then you go down to the 10th fret on your B string, hammer onto the 13th fret B string, and then same principle again. So okay, so that's that. So I will play it all through in a second, but we're going to get to this other bit first, because we're in all fairness, we're not far off the end now. So and then we come to this amazing bend down here. Okay, so the next bend we do is this, and this one's a lot easier because it's only a tonal bend. So we go after. We go up to the 18th fret on the B string, 20th fret B string, and then bend up the 20th fret on the B string. Exactly the same kind of way we have been doing with the... Okay, so we're bending up the 20th fret a tone to basically the 22nd fret note. So, and that happens that many times. So really, really slow. So from this little lick. And you can hear there's like a little rest in there. There. Yeah, but there's a little rest in there after that many times. It just kind of gives it air. Just kind of gives it space to kind of breathe, so to say. Okay, so, yeah, where are we? Next bit. So we're doing this bend again with the little finger coming in on the high E string. So we're bending up the 20th fret on the B. And then we're playing the high E string on the 20th fret. And it's good to kind of up pick that. Down pick the B string. And then up pick the high E. Kind of alternate pick it. Okay, so that's this next bit. And that will take... It's quite a fiddly thing to do. It's like the pre-bend in a... You know, it's going to take a little bit of time to kind of get used to it and to be kind of like comfortable with that. So, you know, it's really kind of nailed in tight, so to say. So yeah. My hands are sweating, everybody. Okay, so that's what happens there. Hopefully, I'll tell you what, I'll do it mega slow, and hopefully you'll be able to kind of like, be able to see and hopefully kind of play along. So from the, like... And he does that twice. Oh, 3 times, sorry. And then we go down to the 20th fret on the high E string. Bend up that a tone. And there is actually one thing I failed, I kind of missed there, which is on the 3rd time, you kind of use this high E string note as it's like a segue into that bend, into that big bend on the high E string. So you go once, twice, then the 3rd time, and then after that time you want to be kind of switching fingers from your little finger to your ring finger. You know, you've got enough time to do it. It's quite... There is enough time to kind of do it, but initially you might struggle. It's quite quick. So... B string bend up a 20th fret, and then high E string with a high E string on up pick, and then switch fingers to your ring finger on your high E string 20th fret. Okay. And again, lack of vibrato here makes it fiddly because you need to nail the bends. Your intonation has to be perfect. Okay, so the next little lick is this. So bending up the 20th fret on the high E, 20th fret fretted, 18th fret, high E. So really slow. Hopefully you'll be able to see if I mess up talking. So you're bending up 20th fret, release, 18, bend up, release, and then 17. So first time 18, second time 17. And then you play that twice, and then you got this lick. So it's 18th fret on high E, and then you go to your 18th fret on your B string, 20th fret B string. Okay, next little lick is bending up the 20th fret tone. So it does that. So bend up 20th fret, release to the 20th fret note. So bending up first, release, play. and then you end up on your 18th fret on your B string. So where are we? Okay, and then we go down to the 20th fret on the high E. And then we go to this lick again. That one again. So it's basically kind of like, there's kind of a fair bit of repeating of dead skin getting all over my lovely strings here. But yeah, so where are we? So that next lick is this. After you go to the high E string, on your high E, you go back to your 17th and 18th. But you kind of alternating this time. Instead of going 18, 17, it's 17, 18. And then you finish up on the 18th fret on the B string. B-strang. It's the B-strang, man. Yeah, so, where are we? Then we go back to the 20th fret. Bend that up twice. A tone. 20th fret, fretted, no bend. No vibrato. 18th fret. 17th fret. B string still. And then we go to the 18th fret B string. And then we do this to kind of finish with. Okay. So where are we? Okay, so we're here. We're right at the end now, everybody. We have made it, hopefully. And anything I've missed, I do apologise, but hopefully you'll be able to see, and hopefully you'll be able to see when I play the whole thing through clean and really slow as well. So, this last little lick is really cool. It's a nice little kind of get out of jail free card, these licks are for guitarists. So what we're doing is we're starting on the 20th fret on the B string, pulling off to the 18th fret B string, and then we're pulling off from the 18th fret B string to the 17th fret B string. And you only play it once. You only play that 20th fret. So the rest will pull off. So that's what he's doing there, and he ends on this kind of it's basically the bottom half of a D minor chord, really high up. So you end on the 19th fret on your G string and 18th fret on your B string. So after the and you kind of want to rake into that, so to say. So do what you can to kill the strings around it, and it is like a little rest just before he hits it. So you know, where everything kind of slows down, so to say, and you'll be able to feel it, you'll be able to hear it. So okay, so that's it, everybody. That is the whole intro to Slane Castle. It's just a really, really gorgeous intro. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through it really slow. The whole thing, and then I'll play through it twice really slow, just so you kind of anything I've missed that I forgot to talk about, hopefully you'll be able to see me doing it if I've missed anything. And if I've missed something, I do apologise, but hopefully you'll be able to see it and kind of like rectify my mistakes, so to say. And so yeah, let's do it. So let's start at the beginning. I'll try and do it Django Reinhardt style, but I can't promise I'll be able to kind of keep it up because of the bends and whatnot. Okay, so. Oh, let's try that again. Okay, that was definitely warts and all version that, and it wasn't very slow, so I do apologise. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to try and do it really, really, really slow this time, just so hopefully it'll help you out. And there was a couple of mistakes in there, but again, that's okay. It's quite weird to play it clean and slow because I'm analysing it now instead of just kind of. And actually, this is a really good point. I'm messing it up, and I'm not trying to make excuses here. I promise. I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm messing up on a few bits because I'm so used to kind of not thinking about it. And because I've been kind of analysing it now, I'm overthinking it, so to say, and I'm questioning things. And the moment you overthink it or analyse something too much is the moment it's going to mess up. You really want to be kind of very kind of like clear-headed when you play, because you don't want your brain to get in the way of playing it. And especially this intro piece, because it's very, very feel-based. Like I say, in that intro riff, like, intro lick number 3, so where it's a different rhythm. This bit. It's the same lick as the first one, but it's got this different rhythm to it, different feel to it. It's almost got a kind of swing to it. So, you want to be able to kind of like learn it and then switch your brain off. You will be able to play it better. So I'm going to try and do it really slow, and I'm going to try and switch my brain off and hopefully be able to play it better than I just did, which was terrible. Okay, so let me try and play it really slow. I'm going to forget Django Reinhardt in it because it's a little bit too difficult. Okay, especially with kind of like up here, I kind of had to forego it in the first version. So let's do it again, and let's see if I can just turn my brain off and just kind of like try and get it right. So, and again, hopefully if I get it right too, any mistakes that I have, anything that I've forgot to talk about, hopefully you'll be able to kind of see and kind of like take that on as well. Okay, so. Okay, so that's the whole thing, and I have a horrible feeling when I just played that then, but I've missed out an entire lick, and I think I have, which is, that bit. So if I've missed that bit out, I really do apologise, and I'll just cover it now quick, because I'm a bit stupid, and sometimes I can forget things. So, and it's been a real hard couple of days, and things haven't been going very smoothly, so my brain is a little bit tired. So I do apologise. Let's cover that now. So it's 20th fret on the B, 17th fret B, and then go back to your 20th fret B, 18th fret B, and 17th fret B. And then you go to your 18th fret B, and then you go into your... go into that. Okay, so that's it. That's the whole of the Slane Castle intro. Like I said, anything I've kind of missed to talk about, then I hope that kind of like, the little playthrough I just did, I was able to kind of like switch my brain off on it. It felt better. That that version felt better, especially on the. Because I was being able to get those kind of like distress notes from a G string, which happens when you're kind of up picking. You're kind of hitting the G string by accident. You know, and you kind of hear that in John's playing. It's kind of like it's this kind of like scratchy, distressed kind of sound. So, anything I missed, hopefully you'll be able to kind of see and kind of rectify, you know, that, so to say. Yeah, and also the first time around, I realised halfway through doing it, I was concentrating too much on trying to do the Django Reinhardt two-finger thing. And that was kind of like, you know, that was sending me off as well, so it's getting a bit confusing. So they're my excuses, and I'm sticking to them. But yeah, so that's it though. That's the whole of the Slane Castle intro, everybody. I really, really hope it's been informative. I hope it's kind of, you know, if you want to learn it, I hope it's kind of like, you know, as straightforward as it can be. I say you will struggle on certain things. Like I say, that pre-bend is quite difficult, and also the bending on the 20th fret and then hitting the 20th fret high E string. That bit, that's quite difficult as well to get. But if you keep at it, you will get it. It's not impossible. It can be done. It just takes a little bit of time to kind of like, you know, get used to it. And again, like I said, one of the most important things about this intro is you've got to feel it. You've really got to learn it and then just play it. Don't think about playing it. Just play it and just feel the kind of pulse of it. Feel where it's going. Feel how it goes there. And a gun, and definitely not a gun. We don't want a gun. We want a gain. But again, you don't want to be using loads of vibrato. You don't want to be going. We're not after that. It's after real no vibrato, really, just at all. It's just. Especially on bends, they want to be clean as you can get them. You know, but everything wants to be really clean, not kind of muddying the waters with vibrato. You know, everything, the intonation on every note has to be perfect. It has to be really nailed on, or as you know, you will hear it, especially if you're playing along. You'll hear that kind of like chorusing, kind of like it doesn't quite match up to John. But so yeah, just so bear that in mind. Bear in mind like the feel of it. There's like a slight swing to it as well at the beginning where he changes rhythm every now and again. There's like there's rests, like when you rest. You know, it's got that rest in there. You need, you know, and they're important little parts you've got to kind of like, you know, think about and nail down, so to say. So yeah, and that's it. And don't be afraid of distortion. John's got a lot of distortion in this intro from the DS2 because if he didn't, you wouldn't have that pick scratchy. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. It might be a bit loud. It might be a bit loud for the camera. But, he wouldn't have that pick scratchy kind of sound, so to say, because the DS2 gives you that when it's got a lot of gain. Without a lot of gain, you're just gonna. It's not there. As soon as you kick that DS2 on with full gain, hopefully you'll be able to kind of hear that pick scratching in there. Okay, so like I said, I really, really, really hope this video has been informative. I hope I've taught it okay. I hope you can kind of go away and learn it. And I love this intro. It's one of the coolest intros in the world. Especially one of the coolest Chili Peppers gigs intros. It's really, really awesome. And I really hope this kind of like, gets you on the right foot to kind of learning it. Like I say, it's just DS2, neck pickup on a Strat. Coming out of D minor, there's F major in there as well. It's mainly kind of like just the 5 positions of pentatonic scale for the theory side of it. But again, you want to be learning it, like I say, and forgetting it and just playing it. And not having to think about where these are going. They'll know. Once you've learned it, these will know what to do. You've got to put the feel and the swing and the bounce into it then. You've got to put the vibe into it. From that point on, it's down to you, not down to these. That's down to you from what comes there, not in your brain. Okay, so yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video, everyone. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you again on Monday for a guitar review, which I'm really looking forward to. It's another revelation, and it's a revelation I can't put down. I just absolutely adore the guitar. Yeah, I'll see you again on Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody. Goodbye now.